Let's see. So apparently, allegedly, Diddy has a 60. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know why I never do this before. I don't have to burn somebody he gave me. He probably did. Mm. It's heavy than copper. It ain't even as fruit as me. Anyway,
Off of Hot 97 because she wanted to put up a picture of him getting his pants pulled down.
There was a radio personality once upon a time. Her name was Wendy Williams, and she was practically burned at the stake for talking about such.
And she allegedly has been avoiding Puffy. You know, my thing about when you date a mogul is like he can hire a plane right now, land on the roof of the hotel where she's staying, pay off the front desk. I'm already paranoid.
Well, y'all have bad blood for a while.
Real bad.
Real bad blood.
The worst.
The worst.
But the difficulty is getting people to believe something that they don't want to believe. And in each of these cases, this is where the money is.
Just when we thought Cat Williams was done exposing the industry, he just stepped into the chat once again to expose the real truth behind Wendy's downfall. From having the biggest talk show to being bedridden with no money to her name. According to new evidence, Diddy was the mastermind behind all of it, and he used his money and connections to destroy Wendy. Diddy and Wendy have always had a very hostile, intense relationship because Wendy was once the first person to speak out on Diddy being DL and inappropriately touching boys in exchange for opportunities in Hollywood. At one point, Diddy even got her fired from the radio station she was working at and sent a very strong warning to all the other radio stations across New York not to hire her. That's how much he hated Wendy.
When she put out those pictures of the dude pulling his pants down and it looked like some gay act that was going on, he got on the phone. He said, let me tell you this. When I get back to New York City, if she's on the radio station, he's talking to a radio executive. He said the same thing to he said, nobody that I deal with, nobody that I know is going to do anything with y'all. No business at all. It ain't going to be no artist, no nothing going to come. He's telling people that at a radio station. When we got back to New York City, Wendy Williams was in Philly at a new station.
At the time, Wendy was working for the very popular radio station Hot 97, and she said she received some exclusive photos of Diddy getting his shirts pulled off by another man while he was on vacation in Cancun. But before she could even get into the details of the story, Diddy got her fired and put a ban on her head, telling every single radio station in New York not to hire her.
About Wendy Williams, she got fired from Hot 97 because she had a picture of Puffy. So if you don't mind, give me the story from your point of view. And what was in the picture?
We were in Cancun. For whatever reason, dude was playing with Puff. He went behind him and grabbed his trunks and pulled them down. Some girls that was taking pictures. They took that picture and emailed it back to Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams said she had him in a compromising position and like it was something like that. She was going to put it out. Wendy had shown people that email. Puff told Hot 97 if they didn't get rid of her before he got back in New York, that they was not going to get any music from any of his friends, any of the record labels executives that was cool with him. Everybody was going to boycott their station. We was out in LA for about 3 days before we landed back in New York. Wendy Williams was in the radio station in Philly. He was fired.
Wendy Williams later confirmed this in 2013 when she said a popular hip-hop mogul got her fired after alleging that he was gay. But this time around, she didn't dare mention Diddy's name out loud. However, it was still clear who she was talking about.
A very homosexual era of hip-hop as well. There was a radio personality once upon a time. Her name was Wendy Williams. And she was practically burned at the stake for talking about such. And now it's all come full circle. There were many situations, none of which to talk about, but there were many situations back in the day in my career. And it's all coming full circle now. So
Wendy said Diddy went as far as telling the girl groups that were signed to his record label at the time, Bad Boy Entertainment, to pull up on her at work and jump her. Thankfully, her boyfriend was around and he stopped her from getting attacked.
Here one day and them total were downstairs waiting, and everybody upstairs at the radio station is looking down, egging it on, waiting for something to go down. I wasn't yet married. My knight in shining armor screeched up in his car just out of nowhere. I didn't even know what was about to happen. I'm standing in the door like, what? And I'm literally about to go through. Now, I'm not like, what, let's fight, because I'm not one of those type of broads. And plus, there was 3 of them. The little Chinese man that drove the van, they were coming. There was no security or anything. It was just them 3 fighting broads. And me. And my coworkers that shot standing upstairs trying to look down to see it all jump off. They all knew. When I said goodnight to everybody, everybody's pressed up against the window. I didn't even walk or bother asking, what are you all looking for? Because, you know, when the clock strikes, it's time to go. It is time to go. I didn't get a chance to hit the sidewalk before I knew it, out of nowhere. And there's a whole bunch of rah-rah going on outside, and I'm still trying to figure out what the hell is going on. And I send Cower and Skell out on the sidewalk, and he comes back in and says, it's total outside. And they were about to set it on you.
And get this, y'all. Wendy also hinted at Wendy being controlling over Cassie, but no one clocked the tea she was spilling until it was too late.
South Africa filming Honey 3. And she allegedly has been avoiding Puffy. And, you know, my thing about when you date a mogul is that it's really difficult to avoid them. Because if you use your head, you never know when they're going to pop up on the scene. Like he's mogul, like he can hire a plane right now, zoom into South Africa, land on the roof of the hotel where she's staying, okay, pay people off the front desk, give me the key and let me up in her room. Like I'm already paranoid. I posted a picture of Michael Jackson's song, Lady in My Life, and wrote, if anyone sees Cassie this weekend, please tell her to listen to this song 100 times. I suggest don't use social media, though, to reach out. I think this is a grand overture from Puffy. I don't believe he really wants her back. I believe he probably treated her at some particular point like a possession. Like a possession. And if you really care, then you'd reach out privately, not publicly.
As a possession, he already knew what she was going to do, basically. But he believed in himself a little bit more, so I don't know what to say about that.
Oh, anyway, fast forward to 2017, and it looked like they have resolved their issues because Diddy appeared on the Wendy Williams show, and both of them joked about the fact that they had tension in the past.
I must say it's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
And I want to just tell you how proud I am of you because I don't think you get enough credit for being the first.
Yeah, I actually thought that he meant that. He did not mean that. He don't give a fuck about Wendy. He don't care about her. He been trying to kill her for years. The fuck?
On our culture and our people, and thank you very much.
I pissed a lot of people off, including you.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a full circle moment, everybody.
yes.
Get into adult conversation.
Yeah,
This is full circle.
yeah.
But it looks like Diddy's animosity toward Wendy never actually ended, and he didn't stop until he completely wrecked her career for filth. Now, as y'all already know, Wendy is currently going through a hard time right now after she was diagnosed with primary progressive aphasia and frontotemporal dementia. This was revealed in a press statement released by her.
And so aphasia come from cocaine.
About Wendy's condition, particularly when she begins to lose words and act erratically at times, and have difficulty understanding financial transactions.
You know what that is, correct?
I know.
Okay, you don't know lymphedema? All right, I'll show you.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay, lymphedema is this. Do you see this right here? Look.
Okay.
No, look closely.
Right.
Hold up, please. Hold up. I can't hold it higher. Do you see?
Yeah, we can see. Yeah.
Okay, do you see this?
Yes.
All right, it's up and down. Okay.
Yeah, she's being poisoned like Kanye West was supposed to be. But he understood the assignment.
Fans really got to see how bad things were for her. During one of the episodes, Wendy revealed that she's been getting exploited these past few years by the people who have been appointed to take care of her. She said she doesn't even know some of the people who they've been hiring, and to make things worse, they've been stealing money from her.
People around you stealing money from me, getting money, whatever the case may be. Enough.
She has people around who are yes people and allowing this to continue.
Now, if y'all remember, Wells Fargo froze all of her accounts back in 2022 because they suspected that several people in Wendy's team were stealing from her and making unauthorized transactions without her knowledge. And because Wendy's mental health was already deteriorating, she didn't realize just how much money these people were stealing. It got so bad that Wells Fargo petitioned to get her a court-appointed legal guardian because they believed she wasn't of sound mind and needed help. However, according to reports, the financial guardian that the court...
Honestly, I think that her husband was poisoning her. Like before he moved out the house or whatever he was doing. I feel like he was poisoning her.
Suddenly, Lori Schiller has got no response regarding my money. I want my money. This is not fair. And Wells Fargo has no questions and answers with regarding my money. This is not fair. And Lori Schiller and Wells Fargo have this guardianship petition about keeping me away from my money. And this guy named Bernie Young, I know for a fact that Bernie Young used my American Express card to hire an attorney to file a petition against me. That was done with my American Express card. A former doctor had medical information about me that I never even got. It was sent over to Lori Schiller. I fired the doctor. And again, all I want to know is where is my money? This is not right.
Wendy's sister and her son Kevin Jr. also talked about how unfair it was that Wendy's money and entire career was now being managed by a complete stranger who doesn't even care about Wendy.
My mom has done a great job making it seem like everything is okay always.
Wendy, make sure you look here. 1, 2, 3.
But in reality, there's something wrong going on.
As her family, we were all sitting on the sidelines watching, and she was crying out for help.
Did you drink this whole thing today?
Keep it there.
Okay.
Keep it there.
My mom, she always talks about how she wants to work. But I feel as though she's worked enough.
She has people around who are yes people and allowing this to continue.
This is all too much. Go! Fly! I have no idea where we are. This doesn't look like anything familiar.
I think she's losing memory. Have you guys noticed that?
How dare him? I control me. I weigh 138.
Anybody could look at her and tell this is not just alcohol. There's something more going on.
Now, this is the time where people begin.
This is crazy because Diddy just killed the lady. Period. I don't give a fuck what you think, how you feel. He killed her. He killed her. He killed her. He killed her. Diddy killed her. Diddy killed her. And she's not even dead yet.
But they continue to supply her with alcohol and other substances. Wendy can barely walk, so we know for sure that she isn't going to be the one getting the alcohol for herself. Someone on her team is intentionally giving her all these things, knowing very well it's going to worsen her condition.
They basically said that because she was drinking so much, it was starting to affect her headspace and her brain. I think they said it was alcohol-induced dementia.
People even compared this to what the industry did to Britney Spears and Kanye West. You see, just like Wendy, Britney was also under a conservatorship, and she had to sit back and watch people around her steal all her money. Britney later revealed in a court hearing that her family intentionally misdiagnosed her and pumped her up with an unholy amount of lithium, which they later used to claim in court that Britney was incapable of handling her own finances.
Would honestly like to sue my family, to be totally honest with you. I also would like to be able to share my story with the world and what they did to me, instead of it being a hush-hush secret to benefit all of them. I want to be able to be heard on what they did to me. By making me keep this in for so long is not good for my heart. I've been so angry and I cry every day. It concerns me. I'm told I'm not allowed to expose the people who did this to me. For my sanity, I need you, to the judge, to approve me, do an interview where I can be heard on what they did to me. And actually, I have the right to use my voice and take up for myself. My attorney says I can't, it's not good. I can't let the public know anything they did to me. And by not saying anything is saying it's okay. I don't know what I said here. It's not okay. Actually, I don't want to interview. I'd much rather just have an open call to you for the press to hear, which I didn't know today we're doing.
And then there was Kanye, who was also prescribed an extremely high dose of lithium, even though he wasn't sick.
Look, they tried to medicate me. I was exhausted. They wrongly diagnosed me. And they when I asked them, how much lithium did you want to put me on exactly? It took them 4 days to answer because they were embarrassed about the amount. Right. And I refused to take this. Right. You understand that if I had taken the medication, I would not be here. And it would have been, he was deeply troubled. We miss him. We love his music, though.
Well, they would have Britney Spears too. I mean, look at
they would have Michael Jackson
or worse, yeah. So look at what they did. Look at what they did to Britney. When she went in, she was tired, she was exhausted, she was in a bad way. But 10 years of that medication wrecked her brain. You can see it now. Yeah. You can see there's not much of her left.
And of course, we can't forget Dave Chappelle, who literally ran to Africa and refused to tell anybody, including his own family, about where he was at, because some of the Hollywood elites were on a manhunt to find him and shove a bunch of antipsychotics down his throat, after he turned down a very shady $50 million deal.
So I got ahead of schedule and I bounced. And I didn't tell anybody where I was going. The whole time, they're trying to convince me I'm insane. They were trying to get me to take psychotic medication. I said, I'm not taking this medicine, man, because I know these people be trying to control you. Or maybe discredit you. I was afraid,
But you were stressed out. That's
why. There's no question. But it's very stressful for someone to constantly.
And I don't blame you. I don't trust them.
You're insane.
So as y'all can see, there's a very clear pattern here to make celebrities who dare speak out strung out on drugs. And people believe that this is what Diddy did to Wendy. Cat Williams also recently spoke about this and said the industry tried to do the same thing that they've done to Wendy, Britney, Kanye, and every other outspoken celebrity to him when he tried to open people's eyes to what R. Kelly, Harvey Weinstein, Diddy, and all these other creepy industry people have been doing. He said he was threatened to keep his mouth shut, and they started a smear campaign against him to paint him out to be a crackhead.
Because in 30 years, I've done nothing but collect information, knowledge, and your secrets. So if you and a man was in a corner doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing,
You will tell it.
no, somebody come to tell me.
Okay.
I gather that. I value that. I'll pay for that. Come, tell me. I know so many things I shouldn't know, and they all know it.
And if you think about it, that's exactly what Wendy was doing for years, collecting information and spilling it on her show without holding back. It's beginning to all add up, and it's clear as day that Diddy, as well as any other powerful person that she's spoken to, decided to conspire against her and destroy her. Can y'all imagine the kind of commentary that Wendy would have have given about this whole Diddy mess if she was healthy enough to do her show, it's like they strategically did this to silence her. As usual, people had their own thoughts about this, like this person who said they're gradually killing Wendy Williams. It's so painful to watch. Her family and friends need to do something really fast to save her. Another person said that's what they do to get you so mentally exhausted, and then they throw you out in public so other people can see you. That way, people think what they're saying is true. You've always got to stay on your toes. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do y'all think about Cat Williams exposing Diddy for trying to end Wendy? And do y'all think Wendy is in this situation because of how outspoken she is? Y'all been knew what to do. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.
That is so very unfortunate. But you can't trust nobody in this game. Very unfortunate. I can go to sleep, yeah. Okay. You're a real life special. Life special. You got a green light special. So, at the end of the day, you are special. So, in this room, I'm going to bed. Good night. It's stream. Good night. Good night. A good night.